Okay, so welcome, Paula, in Slovakia. I guess this is your first time here?
My first time here.
What are the impressions?
Right off the bat, I'm having a lovely time. I've met lovely people. Architecture is so beautiful. The streets are pristine, but mostly the people. I've met some lovely, lovely human beings.
How long are you staying? Do you enjoy also the time after the judging in the Let's Dance competition?
This for me, like most of my career, I've been pretty much all over the world, but I see hotels and venues. So like now, I try to arrange either coming early or staying several days afterwards. So we're going to stay several days afterwards so I can really take in how beautiful it is here.
I hope you will enjoy it. Tomorrow there's a big event that is like the 10th anniversary of the very popular dancing show in Slovakia. You will be the guest judge. It's a ballroom dancing. It's a little bit different like what you did before because you were in So You Think You Can Dance and an American Idol. So what do you think is the most important and what you will be looking for in the dancers and in the competitors?
Well, I've been fortunate to be a guest judge on Dancing with the Stars in the States. So and the coolest thing is that the studios like where Dancing with the Stars is filmed, is right here. Then there's a hallway bathroom, and this is where American Idol would tape. So and we would tape on the same day. So during commercial breaks, I'd run to see what's going on with Dancing with the Stars. And I love being. I don't call myself a judge. I'm a mentor. I really am a mentor. Judging is what we're called. But for me, having started my career as a choreographer, it's really allowed me to really mentor a lot of young dancers. I love being around talent. It's my most favorite thing to do. I always get excited. It's never the same experience for me. It's always brand new, fresh, and exciting. And to be able to come to a different country, which is my favorite thing to do also because I love seeing the talent from all around the world. I mean, it's no shortage of raw, untapped talent. And I'm so glad that I get to be here. And it's very exciting to be a guest judge on the biggest dance show and also the first week. No one goes home, so I won't feel too bad, you know. And the first week's always nerve-wracking for everyone involved, from production to the talent to the pros. You know, it's live television. You don't know what's going to happen if something goes wrong. And you also get a chance for the first time. And I say I get the best seat in the house because I'm a fan. I'm a genuine fan of these kinds of shows. And having been a judge on a lot of the popular ones, especially in America, I feel like, you know, this is truly my calling. I feel like this fits me hand to glove. And being able to see dancers who've never danced before to some who have had minimal training to ones who just have a natural ability, you get to see it all. And I'm excited for tomorrow night to be sitting there and actually present, witnessing their very first time. It's going to be nerve-wracking. And, you know, you see some that the nerves get to them. You see some concentrating so much, and with their pro dancer, the pro dancer's talking them through the dance. And I love seeing the progression and the potential of how they build, especially ones that haven't had little or no training at all. I always say it's the one art form that really, it affects every fiber of your being. It changes your life for the rest of your life. I've seen it happen time and time again, especially with ones who never danced before and feared it. You know, there's such a fear when you don't move to start moving. It's muscle memory. Your brain is working in a different way. There's so much to it, and it's very exciting. I understand why it's so popular. I do. It's incredible.
As you said, you see yourself more as a mentor than a judge. And that is really interesting stuff because you were already in your times of the American Idol. You were the person who were very warm, who were very supportive, who were very like paying attention to the emotions to the people.
Because
and,
I was the only artist.
Yeah, I guess so. But I also see in a way of how the judging in a different shows evolved in past years. I guess it comes more to your side. It's not so harsh anymore like it was before.
Come on, it's a little awkward seeing Simon being kind. Yeah. But yeah, you know what? It's funny because that is who I am. I was made fun of for being, oh, you're so nice. I'm a nice human being. My parents raised me well, and I've always been who I am. But I also understand the spirit and psyche of entertainers. It's different than anything else. It's to have the courage to go out there. Your talent is subjective, just like artists, painters. It's all, whether people are going to like you, people are not going to like you. It's about how do you get the courage, the bravado, the experience of putting yourself out there. I think it's amazing that how you learn and how you grow in business as a performer is by being completely vulnerable and naked in front of an audience there to judge you. So I have a tremendous respect for these young artists and artists who are trying a different art form. Dance is it's the strangest thing that I've witnessed. It taps into your heart and your soul, and it affects you and changes your life. It really does. And I love watching these kinds of shows because I feel like I'm right there with them, evolving with them. I see the growth and I get so excited, and I'm sitting front and center, and I have the best ticket in the house. and I just love it. I love being around talent, and I love seeing talent keep improving and how they come into their own.
Do you think in the current times, because I overheard in the interviewer before me that you were mentioning the Benson Boone from the American Idol. Do you think or do you see that the artists right now, the young artists, are a little bit different like the artists 20 years ago or 30 years ago? Is there something what is really specific for our times, for the 21st century?
Well, I think artists like Benson Boone are defining that there's their own sound, their own type of performance. There's nothing sexier or more alluring or more exciting than seeing someone have that confidence to be their own unique artist. A unique ability is what you strive for, and to be able to achieve that and present that, it's like you're watching something very important happening. And you know that artist is going to take flight. You're witnessing something for the first time. You're going, oh my God, I was there right at the beginning. I was there when they didn't succeed at the talent show on television, but look at their career right now. I mean, there are so many American Idol considered rejects that are superstars now.
Yeah, that's true.
And you know what? That is the beauty of the internet and artists today. I think that the ones who are bold, daring, and celebrate their uniqueness are the ones that I find myself attracted to, and that I can't take my eye off of them. There's a certain quality, timbre of their voice. There's a certain swag that they have in movement that they didn't. It's not like they learned it. It's inherent within them, and that to me is so exciting. And that's what my attention is drawn to, because that's what I want to see. I think that artists should not ever try to sound like the Sabrina Carpenter, or we have Sabrina Carpenter or a Christina Aguilera or anybody. Don't copy anyone's style, because you have less of a chance of hitting a home run, or you luck out and you get to achieve success, and now you have become that. But be your own unique artist. Don't be afraid to have a different sound. Carve your own way. That's exciting to me. I want to know that that we can say there'll never be another Benson Boone or there'll never be another Sabrina Carpenter. We know it. I don't know if I'll ever experience another Prince and have the opportunity to work with geniuses like Prince, like Michael Jackson. I mean, that's what I want artists today to strive for. If they can strive for that and not be afraid to try different things. And especially at the beginning of your career, the most freedom that you have is the fact, what do I have to lose? And when you have that if you think that way and you really know, what do I have to lose? I'm going to try I'm going to throw balls out there and I'm going to see what works. It's awesome. And then it gets scarier because now when you become successful, you do often have something to lose. And it's really important to know that you got to maintain some of that reckless abandon to just go and be unique and try different things. It's very hard to hold on to that when you start becoming very successful. But I marvel at artists that really are able to hold on to that still and keep creating and present something new. It's like it's about being an all-around performer. It's not just your voice. It's not just your look. It's not just your ability to move. It's having something that is inherently unique that sets you apart from everybody else. And as far as with just dance, there's no shortage of brilliant trained dancers. What is it about a performer that you go, their movement is so imperfect, but they're so unique, like Mick Jagger. Like his quality of how he moves is so unique to himself. There's nobody like him. Is he a brilliant dancer? People can argue no, but nobody creates his brilliance of his own quirkiness. So it's just, to me, with dancers and with the show, as exciting as Let's Dance, and I understand why it's so popular. It brings everybody in, and everybody is rooting for the underdog. Everybody's wanting to see the improvement. There's nothing like seeing the audience go crazy from one week where they were in the bottom to the next week where they're in the middle or in the top 10. You know, it's exciting for that. So I hope I answered your question. I know I went all over the place, but I'm very passionate.
I see that. But when you are talking about the uniqueness, and it's really like one really most important quality in the artist, where did you learn your uniqueness? Because you were unique in the time when you came, like after the choreography and the dancing, and then came the Forever Your Girl and the Spellbound, and it was very unique, and it still is.
You know, for me, it was about, okay, I know my strengths, and I know my weaknesses, and I know I need to pull up on my weaknesses, and I know I need to exploit my strengths. And for me, it's like my love for dance and my love for studying the famous, like, legendary, you know, people who did it all, the people that acted, danced, sang, just had that quality. Why not take that and infuse my own unique ability of how I see movement? And I was always smart enough to borrow from the pioneers that paved the way before me, to pay homage and respect to them and infuse my own style. I was born 3 months premature, and I was born with terrible hip dysplasia. So with dance, you have to have turned out hips, and my hips were turned in. So I had to create. I didn't have the natural extension, you know. But I also knew I was a choreographer at a very young age. I knew, because I could see finished, like, performances, like in like full color, like the finishing product. I would dream about it, and even though I didn't have the physicality to be able to do what I saw, I knew that I could tell other dancers and teach other dancers, this is what I'm looking for. I physically can't do it because my hips don't allow for me to do it. So I had to learn to create my own style that was unique to my own ability and make it as unique as possible so that I could create a style that I could enjoy dancing. I could enjoy and possibly have a career. So it's just like being able to believe in yourself first, like a child believes in Santa Claus, is the most important thing. Because if you don't have that, then you have to, even if you don't fully believe, you got to act as if you do, you know? And then you need to like say, what would be unique and different based on what my own ability is? What can I do? And, you know, I will say a big idol of mine was Bob Fosse. Bob Fosse had scoliosis. He had lots of problems. He had hip dysplasia as well. And he created a whole movement and style of dance that today is still relevant. And it's all turned in. The hips turned in instead of a turn out. He was able to create a style that was unique based on his inability. And you know what? Watching him and his career gave me the motivation to try to create something that's unique to my ability.
I yesterday watched a video called Hearted Snake. It wasn't the nostalgic moment for me. I really love it. When you see current videos from these times, do you miss sometimes this kind of cinematography and kind of like almost the high budget videos like the Rush? Was it like that?
Well, let's talk about first MTV has nothing to do with music or video now, so it's like it's a shame. You know, I remember I couldn't wait to get to a television set when there was a world premiere of a video. It's not like that anymore. I do miss that. There are certain artists that take risks and really prepare and study to do, like an artist like Troye Sivan. I really appreciate the fact that here's a guy who wasn't a dancer, but has loved the art form and has paid so much attention to it that he's become an artist that is now known to be a dance artist as well. And that to me, I love that. I love when people like study and they stay a student. Mm-hmm. And you see how their careers take off in leaps and bounds because they stay a student. You're never done learning. You're never done learning. And it's the gift that keeps on giving. So for me, it's like, yes, I do miss all the production quality that goes into it. Not to say that there's not a lot of production. There's a lot of production value that goes into music videos with certain artists are still as expensive as can be. The best thing for me was because I started my career below the line, like as the sum of all parts, I got to learn really how much really things cost. So I was determined to help say, no, Janet, you do not need to be spending that kind of money. I know it's like being able to learn different aspects of the career. It helped me understand what I could do with a smaller budget and what I could help other artists do with smaller budgets that are real, you know. I don't know, I'm getting in all different aspects but I feel the way I came up in this business, working as a part of production first, really taught me the ropes for when I crossed over to be an artist myself. You know, and I always say, you know, it was hard for me because I couldn't call up someone and say, how did you navigate this? Because the way I entered into the business is unlike any other person. Like I was part of production. That doesn't happen. So I had to kind of like hang in there, learn on my own, fall down, get back up again, fall down, get back up again, and figure it out. And I just, yeah, I do miss that kind of aspect of rolling up your sleeves and being the part of the whole process itself. But, you know, it's different today. It's different. Is it better? It's 50-50. Some can, you know, with the internet and being able to become YouTube stars to start with, create your own following, it's brilliant. You don't have to, I mean, and now it's necessary because labels, most people don't want to development artists. They want you to come in with your built-in audience, with your songs,
Yeah.
and provide a home for you. So yes and no. There's so many aspects of it. I hope I'm answering your question.
Yeah, you are
just
answering my
difficult
question.
because it's all over the place. But I've been fortunate enough to have lasted for decades and decades and decades and decades and decades and decades. Okay, I can stop now.
Nah, yeah, you
Okay.
can. Just one. Thank you very much.
Thank you
We
so
have to
much.
stop. So thank you very much.
Thank
It was
you.
a pleasure to meet you, Paula.
Nice meeting you too.